Hi everyone, today we are with Dr B.M. Veerabhadraiah sir. He is the Professor and Academic Coordinator of Rajiv Gandhi Institute of Technology, Bangalore. He is having the 6 degrees from 5 universities such as MA, MA, MBA, PhD, and it is our honor to take an interview with sir. Let's begin. Sir, we are glad to have an interview with you, sir. Sir, welcome.
Thank you.
Sir, first question. What is the main role of Indian citizen?
The Indian citizen role is in fact vast. His role starts after getting education, coming to the profession, leading a family life. So in all these 3 or 4 aspects of a citizen must prove his worth of good in studies comparatively and quality, and even in education field also in competition must come up in all curricular, co-curricular activities, and each one must have a spirit of coming up and achieving something. So as a role, when he is successful in the family, when he is successful in the village, he is successful in the society at large. So his role must be model to others. Each one must confirm what is right and what is wrong. That's what speaks about the ethics. We have seen often that youths lack this morality and ethics. Consequently, they take a wrong route and face the failures in their life. So that should not be there. In order to not only satisfying the parents whose dreams to be fulfilled as a role of the youth, son, daughter, they must work hard and they must be up to the expectation of the parents, villagers of the society, and governmental, institutional levels. So, in one word to speak, that the role of a youth of India must be as far as model and exemplary to others.
Okay. So next question, sir. What every Indian citizen should know about Constitution?
Many times our youths are forgetting their constitutional law. That means what Constitution guides the leaders, and leaders following the Constitution, trying to do something, and there is a failure that the selfishness or corruption often they go astray in following these rules and regulations and the right spirit. So, what is the question?
What every Indian citizen should know about Constitution?
So, this every citizen must also be aware of the Constitution that is there as a governmental law book or Bible or a whatever, Quran or Gita, something like that. It is a government Gita. There they must know what are the things there in the Constitution. The Constitution in the preamble itself said that make the country developed and make the country justifiable in that case. The amendment is there. They must know it. How the amendment takes place, how the laws are implemented, how the bill is passed, the procedure of bringing the changes in the society through law. All these things must be aware while they are themselves, because the democratic constitution lays stress on the youth's role, because they are the makers of the government. Because any government is made by the people. That is said that. So authority vests with the youth's role of youths. So while selecting a right leader, they must have all this constitutional knowledge in order to make their society, their government aware and success.
Sir, third question. How to choose good leader over a bad leader?
Yeah, leadership is important. Each Indian must know what is a leadership. Leadership is a role model person in the society who himself has a basic character, quality and courage. These things he who or she who possess and become a good leader. So good leader is an exemplary without any bad background of his childhood or youthhood or old age. so without any untainted characters. So he must be model. We have seen that lot many leaders in our country, say for example Lal Bahadur Shastri, Jai Prakash Narayan, Mahatma Gandhi ji. So many such things are in India available other than the world level leaders. So Martin Luther Kings, they have done wonderful work for their society. In that way, these are examples, and Swami Vivekananda, these are the advisors of the people, of our leaders who must follow it. And bad leaders are those who normally go in wrong path, say gundas, robbers and dacoits. All these people make money, and many times with the power of money, people come to the leadership position like MLA, like ZP member, Taluk member, and politics. They enter with that background. However, people know their background in their life itself, that they have bad background, but they are because of their money and power and muscle power, they come to the leadership position. So in that way, we must distinguish and the nature of the person whose background and whose biography speaks about their character, because we know that if we lose money, nothing is lost. If you lose health, something is lost. If you lose character, everything is lost. Unfortunately, the people who lose the character come into the leadership, and they dominate in the society. So this makes the youth in confusion. What is helpless? In that way, each one must be good educated person and good moral and honesty person, and such persons should come forward, and they are good leaders. And bad leaders, I need not say all the bad qualities, wiles, weakness, selfish, and rowdyism, dacoitism, and all these things, all these bad qualities. This we must be aware of these things. A person who is having more good qualities and less good qualities is a successful person.
Okay, sir. Sir, fourth question, sir. How GDP of a country could be increased?
Yeah, this is a very important question, because a backward country is one which is backward economically, educationally, and quality of living. In that way, top priority is economy. That speaks about the level of the country in the world comparison. So the GDP of our country must be increased by way of hard work of the youths and all section of the people. If they are devote themselves, you have seen in the past that farmers work hard since morning till evening. They sweat, they spread sweat and work hard labors and all these things. Both in agriculture sector of all types of fruits, vegetables and food grains, the production, and at the same time industrial people also, without making any deceiving and wrong practices, and taking care of the workers, laborers, industry, with all these things, they also work. So GDP can be raised if these two sectors and other sectors of production and produce increase qualitatively and quantitatively, and increasing export, what we produce in our country to other countries, and our decreasing import and increasing export, decreasing import, makes our GDP also partly successful, raise our GDP, so that country can come up well economically. Then we can proudly say that India is a rich country. Earlier it was called Hindu Desha, backward country. These were the things, myths in the olden days, that we have to vanish by the good role of youths of present day people who are getting good education and who work hard for the society, for the country. Okay. Then only we can raise the GDP level of our country, raise not only politicians but also public as well.
Okay, sir, thanks. Sir, fifth question, last question, sir. How the quality of living could be improved in India?
Yeah, quality means you have seen that people used to comment, even Mahatma Gandhi ji also half-naked Baba type. That means he was not wearing a shirt upper part other than the dhoti lungi like that. It speaks about that is there no clothes to wear by the people, not only Gandhiji, others also. Even if you go to village And in rural part, people do not have sufficient clothes to wear. If we come to the city, we see that all ironed, well cloth and latest designed fashion. It is in fact food, cloth, roti kapda makan, we used to say that. People living in a good house speaks about a good life. People wearing good dress and cosmetics. Using this thing. And at the same time, healthy food and nutritious food. All these things are lacking in some people that speaks about quality of living. So we have seen that why people rush to foreign countries like America, England and France for working job, because there they earn. Suppose Sundar Pichai recently is announced that per day his earning is 3.5 crores. It means a person can earn per day so much. 3.5 crores is not a small thing. So it speaks about the quality of living and economic position of a person who can earn. And it's a model for others also. We also, instead of job taker, we must be in a position to, we try to be job doer. ಉದ್ಯಮಿ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ಹುಡುಕಿಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋರಿಗಿಂತ ಉದ್ಯಮಿಗಳು. Brain drain is a concept that many times our India spends per capita educational expenditure, and our youth study here taking education degree like engineering, medical management and scientists, so many areas. But they fly to foreign country to serve there. Taking the route and expenditure of the India and giving benefit to the other countries. This brain drain should be stopped, and our youths must get sufficient education and must get economic help from the banks, loans, and make their own earning, and they must do job for others. It is an example that we have seen that many MBA people and engineering people, even in food industry, people have taken a job and route and start business and they made their own earning. So he is an example. Like that, every person must venture himself or herself to come up and see that our GDP rises. Our society, our India comes up well, above, upper and upper, in a higher scale.
So thank you for your valuable time for spending with us.
Thank you. Thank you, engineers.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video,
Give a like to the video and please subscribe to our channel.
thank you.